Welcome back to Chapters Unfolded. I am so excited for this deep dive, you guys. It's going to be a good one. We are on episode 9 of our Atomic Habits series.
9 already? Wow.
I know, right? It's crazy. And this one, we are getting into like the nitty-gritty of how to actually make habits irresistible.
Yeah.
Like, how do we hack our brains? I mean, I know we say that a lot, but like, how do we actually hack our brains to make those things that we want to do so badly, but we just don't have
Yeah, the things we know we should do, we just can't bring ourselves to do.
Exactly.
And I think this chapter has some pretty cool insights into that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one.
So one of the big things is the idea of supernormal stimuli.
Okay, wait, that sounds so intense.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Like supernormal stimuli. What is that?
Okay, so basically, it's this idea that there are these exaggerated versions of things that appeal to us naturally, and they can, like, totally hijack our brains and make us crave those things.
Hijack our brains.
Well, maybe hijack is a strong word, but they definitely influence our behavior.
Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit of a mad scientist vibe here.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
But before we go full Frankenstein, can you give me an example of what this actually looks like in real life? Like, what is a supernormal stimuli?
All right, well, let's start with something everybody can relate to: food. You know how it is? You have a bag of chips, and then suddenly the bag is empty.
Oh, yeah, chips are my weakness. Like, I can't stop once I start.
Exactly. Well, that's because those chips are designed to be like a supernormal stimulus.
What do you mean?
Our brains are hardwired to love things like salt, sugar, and fat.
Oh, right, because back in the day, like with our ancestors and stuff, those things were like really valuable.
Exactly. They were scarce and they meant survival, so we evolved to crave them.
Makes sense.
But here's the thing. The modern food industry, they've figured this out.
Oh, no.
They've basically weaponized these cravings against us. They use science.
I knew it.
To create these hyper-palatable foods that are like loaded with salt, sugar, and fat.
Okay, so like processed foods.
Yeah, processed foods, fast food, all that stuff. It's designed to hit that bliss point.
Bliss point? What's that?
It's like that perfect level of deliciousness that makes your brain go more, more, more.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely been there.
And it's not just the ingredients, it's the textures, too. Like, think about those chips again.
Crunchy.
Crunchy, right. They're engineered to have that perfect crunch that keeps you coming back for more.
It's true. I never thought about it like that. It's like they're playing us.
They kind of are. They're using our own biology against us.
Okay, so it's not just chips, right?
Nope. It's everywhere. Think about social media. All those perfectly filtered photos, those clickbait headlines, those notifications that keep you coming back for more.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It's all designed to keep us hooked.
Exactly. It's all about triggering those same reward pathways in our brains, those same cravings for connection, validation, and novelty.
This is starting to feel a little bit scary, to be honest.
I know what you mean. It's like we're constantly being bombarded by these things that are designed to hijack our attention and make us want things.
So is there any way to fight back? Like, if our brains are so susceptible to these supernormal stimuli, how do we actually make good choices?
That's the big question, isn't it? And to answer it, we need to understand how this little thing called dopamine works.
Dopamine. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So dopamine is a neurotransmitter, basically a chemical messenger in the brain, and it plays a huge role in motivation and reward.
Right, so it's like the feel-good chemical.
Yeah, kind of, but it's not just about pleasure, it's about anticipation, too. It's the dopamine rush we get from wanting something that really drives us to take action.
Wait, so you're saying that the wanting is actually more powerful than the getting?
It can be. Think about it. How many times have you been super excited about something only to feel a little let down once you actually have it?
Oh, all the time. Like that new phone I just had to have.
Yeah.
And then it's like, meh.
Right. That's dopamine at work. The anticipation, the wanting, that's where the big rush is.
That is so interesting. So how do we use this knowledge to our advantage? Like, how do we hack our dopamine system to make good habits stick?
Well, there's this really cool strategy called temptation bundling.
Temptation bundling.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds a little bit dangerous.
It's actually brilliant. And it's all about linking something you need to do with something you want to do. So let's say you hate going to the gym, but you love watching your favorite show.
Ooh, I feel personally attacked right now.
I know, right? We've all been there. But here's the thing. What if you only allowed yourself to watch that show while you were at the gym?
Okay, wait, I actually kind of like that idea.
Right. Suddenly going to the gym doesn't seem so bad because it's your ticket to guilt-free TV time.
It's like you're tricking your brain into wanting to exercise.
Exactly. And the best part is it actually works. There's this engineering student who did something similar.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
His name is Ronan Byrne, and he was super into Netflix, but he also knew he should probably exercise more. So he hacked his stationary bike.
He what?
Yeah, he reprogrammed it so that Netflix would only play if he was pedaling at a certain speed.
That is genius.
Right, so he basically temptation bundled his way to better fitness.
I love that. Okay, so we've got the Netflix and exercise combo.
Yeah.
What are some other examples, like for people who don't have hacking skills?
Well, think about things you already enjoy doing. Maybe you love listening to podcasts.
Yes, podcasts are my jam.
Okay, so what if you only allowed yourself to listen to podcasts while you were doing chores?
Ooh, that's actually really smart, because chores are the worst.
Exactly. But suddenly, folding laundry becomes way more bearable when you've got a juicy podcast episode playing in your ears.
Okay, I'm sold on this temptation bundling thing. It's like a superpower for getting things done.
It kind of is, and businesses are using it too. Remember those TGIT commercials on ABC?
Oh, yeah, with all the wine and popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. They were basically temptation bundling their TV shows with those already pleasurable activities. Like, hey, Thursday night is your night to relax, drink wine, and catch up on your favorite shows.
And it worked. I totally remember looking forward to those Thursday nights.
Because they made it irresistible. They tapped into those existing desires and associations to make their programming even more appealing.
That is so sneaky, but also so smart.
Right. And it all comes back to understanding how our brains work.
So, we've got supernormal stimuli trying to tempt us, and then we have temptation bundling to help us fight back.
Exactly. It's like a constant battle in our brains.
But I'm curious, is there anything else we need to know about this whole dopamine thing? Like, is there more to the story?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole other layer to this. And it has to do with the fact that dopamine isn't just about pleasure. It's about anticipation.
We talked about that, right? Like
Yeah.
how the wanting is more powerful than the getting.
Right. But here's the thing. That dopamine rush we get from anticipation, it can be kind of tricky.
What do you mean?
Well, have you ever noticed how sometimes you get super excited about something, and then when you actually get it, it's kind of a letdown?
Oh my gosh, yes. All
Okay,
the time. It's like the buildup is always better than the actual thing.
That's the dopamine trap. Our brains are wired to seek out novelty and excitement. But the problem is we adapt really quickly to those pleasurable experiences, so we're constantly chasing that next dopamine hit.
So it's like a never-ending cycle of wanting more, more, more.
It can be, but understanding this can actually be really helpful when it comes to building habits.
How so?
Well, the key is to shift our focus from the reward itself to the process of achieving that reward.
Okay, I think I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
So instead of obsessing over the destination, we need to find a way to enjoy the journey.
Exactly. It's about making the process itself rewarding, even if it's something that doesn't naturally excite us. It's like, how do we make the journey itself fun?
Right, because if we can do that, then the habit will just kind of happen naturally.
Exactly. So let's say you want to start meditating every day, but you just can't seem to make it a habit.
Yeah, meditation. That's a tough one for me.
Right. It can be. But what if you paired it with something you absolutely love? Like maybe you really enjoy drinking a certain kind of tea?
Ooh, yes. I have this herbal tea that I love. It's so calming.
Perfect. So make a rule. You only get to drink that tea while you're meditating.
I like that. Just like a little reward for myself.
Exactly. And over time, your brain will start to associate that delicious tea with the feeling of calmness and relaxation that comes with meditation.
So it's not just about like forcing yourself to do something.
Yeah.
You're actually creating a positive association with it.
Exactly. You're hacking your reward system.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of different strategies in this deep dive. But if you had to pick just one thing for our listeners to take away, what would it be?
That's a tough one. But I think the biggest takeaway is this. If you want to make a habit stick, you gotta make it irresistible.
Make it irresistible. I love that.
Yeah.
And we've talked about all these different ways to do that, like temptation bundling, understanding supernormal stimuli, and hacking our dopamine system.
Right. It's all about finding what works for you and your brain.
Because everyone's different.
Exactly. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to habit formation.
Well, this has been a seriously mind-blowing deep dive into the world of atomic habits. Thank you so much for sharing all of this amazing knowledge with us.
It's been a pleasure. And remember, building good habits is a journey, not a destination. So be patient with yourself, experiment, and have fun with it.
And to all of our amazing listeners out there, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Chapters Unfolded for more deep dives into fascinating topics. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.